Hello everyone. Today is March 8th, International Women's Day, and we have a session about the pentagram. Um, as I said before, it is my favorite, maybe my most favorite part of Paneurhythmy. But before we start, I think I read this in the previous session, but I'll read the daily reflection for today, March 8th, which is an excerpt from the Five Brothers. It's a Sunday lecture given on April 22nd, 1923. And it says, and it gives like a vision of the future, which you should not worry about, because it says, women will save the world. No preachers, no bishops, no priests. Women will save the world. Do you understand this? This is what is written in the scripture. This is how the question has been framed. The new culture does not call for women in the ordinary sense of the word, but for women of the new era, the resolute, radiant women, women with luminous minds, generous hearts, and willpower as strong as diamond. So, we have a little work to do. So if somebody is asking you and you're doing something like cooking at home, you think about it, you're saving the world. Okie dokie. That's to convert what we have in a little bit lighter note. And hi Valentina, and hi everyone.
Hello.
Hi. Okay. And hi again, Steve. So, like on my screen, there is like people move all the time. I don't know why, but let's start. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. So for those who started the Paneurhythmy course, this is the last session, and I wanted to double this with the general lecture reading sessions, because sometimes I meet people who dance Paneurhythmy but only the first 28 exercises, and lately the more I think if we don't have enough people, we should be at least singing the sun rays and the pentagram, so that we complete uh, the vibrations and raising of the vibrations with the Paneurhythmy dance. So today we will talk about the pentagram. Today is March 8th, and I just want to remind you there is amazing descriptions both in the book by Toni Kruszewska and Ernestina Staleva and many others, of course, published by Evera Books. There is a version that's available for free online, as well as the Dance of the Soul, La Danza del Alma, or Taniec Dushi by Ardella. And I will now start with the pentagram, a little bit of the history. So the master Ben Saduno received this spiritual symbol in an inner revelation in 1898. So it was there years before he actually started revealing it to others. He noted it down in his notebook. And then in these spiritual gatherings, 1910 to 1922, in the town of Veliko Trnovo, they call it Verigata, but it's like a spiritual council or spiritual fellowship. He gradually presented the new image and then explained some of the component symbols. The gathering 1914, he gave a picture of the pentagram to every participant in that council meeting. Those council meetings are actually very amazing. They kind of give the seed of the teaching, and they are all available on peterdanov.com. And of course, with the help of AI and Google, you can read the translation. Maybe it's not perfect, but you will get the gist of it.
Nevenka, can you turn the volume up?
My volume?
Yes.
My volume is on max.
Okay. Okay.
So maybe you can do something on your side.
I tried, but I'll work on it some more. Thank you.
Can other people hear me well? Because
yes.
Okay, great. So Steve, you need to work on it some more.
I can hear you. I have to make an extra effort to hear you. You're at like
Same here. My computer's all the way up. I don't know if you're far away or something of that sort. I have no idea.
I'm in front of my computer and my voice is usually high. That's what my husband says, that I sometimes shout, especially when I talk to Bulgarians and Macedonians. Let me just give it a try 1 second. Audio. So my audio is same as the system. MacBook Pro microphone. So I am on the microphone. I cannot, there is no other audio setting. Input level. So input volume. I don't think I can do anything here. Output volume is almost on max. If we test the microphone, I don't know why it's only input level this.
it's okay. I can manage it, but yeah, it's okay.
All right. Okay. So then the question is, what is the pentagram in its spiritual interpretation? And symbolically, it represents the way to living a meaningful life, or the path of the spiritual student. It gives these 5 great principles that are inscribed inside the 5 rays of the pentagram: love, wisdom, truth, justice, and virtue. So of course, when you see the pentagram and you've seen it on like, especially if you go to Texas, you see it a lot. And when you fill gas at Texaco, you see it. And there is a brand of sports shoes that you see it, and so on. But it's an ancient symbol, and it's really a symbol of the human being in motion, in evolution. It also indicates the harmonious distribution of all intelligent forces acting in the awakened human being. So this is us, this is me, this is someone who works for the whole and serves God. So this is the drawing of the Vitruvian Man. This is how Leonardo envisaged the great picture chart of the human body and produced these anatomical drawings. And he believed that the workings of the human body to be an analogy of the workings of the universe. What is in the small is in the great, and what is in the great is in the small. This is one of the first symbolic drawings of the pentagram, and I like it a lot because in the picture sometimes it's hard to see what we are looking at. So the first thing is this symbol, the pentagram, and as you can see, these things are intertwined. They go one behind another. So I at least draw the pentagram starting here at the bottom of this leg, and this is istina, meaning truth. This is pravda. It can be translated both as justice but also righteousness or equity. And then love, любовь. This one is in the old Bulgarian script. And then mudrost. Again, this mudrost is from the old, this is wisdom, old Bulgarian script. And then dobrodetel means virtue. Okay. Later on, there are colors added, and these symbols are drawn in a much more beautiful. So it's a full picture, as you will see. But let's first pay attention to the most important things, which is this V, U, and Ž. Великото училище на живота, the great school of life. So that's the first thing that we need to remember about the pentagram. So as we said, this is the path of the spiritual student. This is the way of living a meaningful life. This is the great school of life. Okay, and the circle around it is в изпълнението волята на Бога е силата на човешката душа. And it's always great to remember. So in the fulfillment of the will of God is the power of the human soul. So it's from the Bible, and it's one of those things when you repeat it a few times, you start to ask a lot of questions, and that's exactly the idea. But in the end, you come full circle and you come within the circle. So what is important here at the apex is Christ, who is the leader of the Universal Brotherhood of Light, or the Fellowship of Light. So we take the pentagram as a way of evolution of the human soul, and after that as a method that we apply, or a whole set of methods, because here the truth, justice, love, wisdom, and virtue are all different aspects, different methods with which we work to achieve this great learning in the great school of life. And that's how we start. So now here is the nice picture, the nice detailed drawing of the pentagram. And I think you can buy it as a poster, and it's really very beautiful. But let's just kind of go through it as a spiritual journey. And there are two paths. One is called the external path. So these are the symbols of initiation. And first I'll point. So this is the sword, the cup, the book, the candlelight, and the wand, the scepter. And then we'll talk about the other symbols of the next phase of the path. Okay, so first we start with the sword. So this is the starting point of our development as humans. We start with violence, applying force, whether it's correctly or incorrectly, and that is symbolized by the sword. So we use violence and injustice in our actions, then we will pass through sufferings according to the karmic law. And then, because of that, we drink from the bitter cup of sufferings. So the cup comes as a consequence of the sword. However, through this we acquire experience. We are taught and we reach the book. Starting the book, we become more enlightened and more rational in our words, and we acquire light. This is the candle. And then when we become more illuminated from inside, we pass the path leading to the wand. So now we acquire some level of power through this whole cycle. And then in a way, I become a master of myself. This is the power over ourselves, as well as some of the forces of nature or some of the laws. So that's why this is symbolized by the wand. And then this external path, these external studies of the human soul are being passed unconsciously. We end these 5 phases of the external circle, but after that we fall into an internal crisis. We feel unsatisfied and start to seek the meaning of life. So now the real work begins, where there are all of these symbols, and here they're drawn as at the apex of I don't know what is the plural of the pentagram, of the ends of the race, so to speak. But if you notice here, they're inside in the symbolic pentagram. You see the eye is inside, while on the picture here, in the painting, it's on the outside, but has the same meaning. Okay? So now we first start with the arch, okay, with the symbol which is situated by the apex of truth. And now we go through this arch. We are actually entering the school, the great school of life. And this truth flashes through our minds, but it's not the absolute truth yet, because the absolute truth will shine only when we become perfect. Then, when the Spirit of Christ starts to work within us as disciples, then we pass through the law of righteousness. So this is pravda, or righteousness, or justice. And then when we learn the law of righteousness, in the sense mentioned above, we are actually approaching the rocky path. So there is a windy, rocky path with a narrow door at the end, which every spiritual disciple will pass through. This is the steep path, the narrow door mentioned by Christ. Denial of secular matters, which have tempted and deviated the seeker until now. We just went through this great Giten regime, the wheat diet. And every day you do it and you say, why? You're denying yourself real food because you would like to have the benefits of that diet, because, as the master says, you go through these 5 days, then your cells start to rejuvenate. So this is where the consciousness really starts to kick in, to develop, because now we are going through this narrow and winding path and narrow door, but we have to deny certain things to avoid them, not to be tempted, and not to be deviating from the path. So only then, when you cope with the path of self-denial, and even if you give up some of the interests of your own, then you start on the path of love, which is right here, as you can see. So this is Lyubov. This is the path of love. And then when divine love is developed to a certain extent within us as disciples, we come to the symbol of wisdom. It will bring wisdom. So the eye represents the wisdom. And then when you attain love and wisdom, then we come to the tree of life. And this is the blossom of all the virtues. Virtue in the mystical sense of the word. So finally, as disciples, we realize the revelation of selflessness. So serving God is the meaning of life. Virtue means to do good, to practice benevolence. The master said there are more than 50 virtues, and maybe in single life you will develop only a couple of those, and then you have a next life to develop some other virtues. But that's what is meant. It's not just a single virtue, but virtue in general. And then the third part is in the center. You see there are two snakes. So this is the third phase of development that is represented by these two snakes, a line, a circle, and a cross, and another circle. So what is here really? There are many explanations, but one of the simplest ones is that we always fight with our lower self. So even say you look at yourself a year ago or even a month ago, at least we hope that we have progressed a little bit so that you have worked on, conquered, or done something with certain aspects of your earthly desires or life, or something that brought you back, to set yourself in some ways free. But this is the duality of the human nature, and the duality that is always between the materialistic and divine aspects of your life. These, I put them in here for completeness. Just you can go through them when I send the PowerPoint. Okay, so now, after passing through the 5 rays of the pentagram, so what do we do with these? What do we do with these 5 aspects? We are deeply instilling these virtues in our hearts. We, as spiritual students, can perceive the words of the Master given at the end of the testament of the color rays of light. So, love is the perfect way of truth and life. Make good the foundation of your home, justice your measure, love as an adornment, wisdom your shield, and truth your light. Only then you will come to know me, and I shall reveal myself to you. I think this should have been like this. Okay. So the second circle of the development that we just explained ends with this. This is the center. So there are many things happening, but I just want to focus that this is like the trial of Golgotha. There will be a moment after you go through all these phases that you feel like you're left all alone, that nobody takes care of you, you feel totally abandoned. However, this is the pivotal moment. This is when you realize that in spite of the separation you're experiencing now, the one who has always loved you, the one who has always with you, and that is God, that you have passed the trial, that this is your only support, that God is your only support. So if you achieve this revelation, then you enter into the new life of bliss, joy, light, and freedom. So this leads to ascension. So at the end, when the awakened soul has progressed in the great school of life and have passed through all trials which are represented in the pentagram, the affirmation in the fulfillment of the will of God lies the power of the human soul, actually becomes our guiding star. So that's for the symbolism, and I just want to bring up the fact that there was a musical pentagram that the master gave in many conversations with Liliana Tabakova. And what's interesting here is these are musical phrases from different songs that the master gave. They're colored according to the color of the different aspects, like here yellow is wisdom, or if we start from truth, so this is blue, justice is green, love is pink or red, and then wisdom is yellow, and virtue is orange. We will not discuss this. I'd rather give this to someone like Tony Hadjinikolov. I think we had one session 2-3 years ago when he actually played some of these, and I would love to do that again, but I think a musician should do that and not me. I'm still in the first grade when it comes to music, and I'll focus on something. And this is actually what I received as a message this morning from Brother Damian Damianov. He realized that today we have the pentagram session, and he said, I was always thinking about the Vatan name of the music, which is Berhan Beru. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. That's how it sounds to me. But Berk means firm, steadfast, unbreakable. It means, like this is from the Turkish language, an, it's like an oath, again from Turkish. And Beru, it's from, Beru means I give. So I give a very firm and unbreakable oath. This is in Bulgarian, and what he actually said was, it's like we're standing with our hands, you know, we're dancing the pentagram while giving this oath that we are going to walk this path of light. So to me that was absolutely beautiful. To have this kind of an understanding that there is a meaning behind this Berhan Beru, which until now I never asked about, to be honest. So sometimes you have to you have to come to these moments to show such interest, and then the answer comes from somewhere. Now let's talk about the music and the words of the pentagram, and how we are dancing the pentagram. I have a very beautiful video actually of the group by Svetla Baltova, and she explains it so nicely, and I will just play the video because it's just amazing. So the time signature here is 2/4. It's very classical music signature. Key signatures are C major and C minor, and it's like the form is like two-part reprise or reprise. So the first piece is 32 bars, then we have 16 bars, and I'll explain what we do during these. It's andante and what is called an isorhythmic structure, the dotted 8th note with a 16th note, which complements the solemn and victorious character. It's a little too technical, but what is important is that the master said the sun is singing in C, and the lyrics are, "Here we come, beaming bright, royal bearers of light. Eto već idem svetlozarni lači." And I think it's very nicely explained and very directly explained from Bulgarian, and there is a direct correspondence. And then it says, "From the heights we descend, help to earth we would lend. Will you hear our friendly call today? We bring love and freedom. With the truth, clear our way. Clear your way." Now this line, "Svetlina, živa krasota, svoboda, razumni," so means light, living beauty, freedom, and razumni could be intelligent or sublime or illuminated consciousness. So it means this is an illustration of one of Peter Danov's idea for continuity between the laws of nature. So you go from light to living beauty to freedom for all the illuminated, conscious, intelligent souls. Now, Božidar Simov actually wrote a master's thesis about the music, the meaning of music in the teaching of Binsaduno, and he explains in quite a musical technicalities that there is a high point here, the dissonance that comes when we sing about svoboda, because we break through. Svoboda meaning freedom, and that there is this emerging dominant 7th chord in the 14th bar of the syllables, exactly razumni duši. Svoboda za всички razumni duši means freedom for all illuminated, intelligent souls. And that's where it resolves. The 7th dominant, it sounds a little dissonant, and after that it resolves. So you have to come through that. To me, that's what is described musically is actually here the middle of the pentagram. That's where the Golgotha comes, and you have to overcome it. So let me talk a little bit about the big picture, because in the pentagram, when we dance, we're dancing out the living pentagram. We create the pentagram, but symbolically we create it in our souls. We practice it with other people, and symbolically we exchange these virtues when we trade places. So this is the real living pentagram. This is also what we mean living beauty, because we are exchanging those living energies. We are exchanging those living, beautiful aspects of the path of the human soul. I don't know how else to say it. It sounds complicated when you say it like that. But let's talk about the big picture. And from the big picture, there are 4 parts. We are starting and we are forming a pentagram. Then we do something which I call the enlivening of the pentagram. And then we are folding, we are turning. So we've exchanged, we enlivened the pentagram. And now we are folding from a pentagram, we become a ray again. And we have now the sun rays marching forward 32 steps. I mean, to me, it's really brilliant. We form the pentagram, we practice the path, we actually live through that expanded consciousness, we live through obtaining all of these virtues, all of these aspects. We fold back and we march forward 5 times. We repeat this 5 times. So you will ask, why 5 times? I'll answer that later. I just want to show the music. So it's 2/4 and it goes, if you decide to learn it in one of the 2 languages, it's very nice. And of course it's accessible both through it's in Ardela's book and it's in Tony Kruszewska's book. So it would be great if you at least you analyze a little bit. This is that extended "Here we come." It's like we have 2 steps within this. Here we come, beaming bright, royal bearers of light. I mean, what a beautiful thing to be doing. So how do formations look like? So say the center is people playing music. So we have these 12 rays, 12 couples, 12 times 12, so 6 couples in each ray. And sorry, we're in the pentagram, it's 5 couples now. I don't know why we're seeing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, so perfect. So if these 10 people stand as 5 couples, so we denote each person with a number, just for the sake of explaining this. The leftmost is towards the center. And now when we start to move, this is when we are creating the pentagram, right? So we start, but we all go 8 steps, but then the first, the third, and the 5th couple, they continue forward another 8 steps. And then the middle couple goes another 8 steps. So what has happened is these 2 couples have gone 8 steps. These 2 couples, 1 and 6, 5 and 10, have gone 16 steps. And this middle couple, which is called the head, actually has gone 24 steps. Okay. So we call this leftmost couple, this is like the left arm. The next one is the left leg. Then we have the head, right leg, and right arm. Okay. So now imagine what we have here is left leg, left arm, head, right arm, right leg. Okay, so now you see kind of the pentagram, and there is a few steps where 8 steps actually, where the second person in the couple comes behind the lead person in the couple. So this is the forming of the pentagram. Now the second part is really enlivening the pentagram, and this is the beautiful thing that happens next. So here, the couple that's representing the right leg will go and become the head. The head will become, sorry, left leg will become the head. The head will become right leg. A right leg will become left arm right here. Left arm will become right arm. Right arm will become left leg. And in this beautiful choreography, you know, people who are here at the apex of truth will walk the path of truth and then will become the apex of righteousness, the apex of justice. Okay? And then we'll walk the path of justice. So, in every next phase or the next singing of the song, we live through one of these aspects with one of these virtues. One time we'll walk through the truth, next time we'll walk through the justice, next time we will go through love, we'll go through wisdom, and then on this last one we'll walk through virtue. Okay, so isn't this like truly amazing that at the same time when we are stepping and we are walking forward, we are connecting with the couple, with the people who were like here, only the first person will change, will trade places, right? And the first person from here becomes the second person here at the head. So as they say, walking, when you're mad at somebody, try walking in their shoes. Try to think from their own point of view. So in a way, we are practicing all of these virtues, but we are also learning how to empathize, how to be closer, and how to see the world from somebody else's point of view. So I also drew this one, which is another way of representing, but it's really flowing the energy. And imagine if this is animated, it would be the colors, the color rate of rays of light, because we are walking through all of these aspects. As I said, the blue ray of truth, and I always start with the left leg to the head, then from the head to the right leg. And here is a key to remembering. Humans are very good in not really conceptual memories, but when they associate something with episodes in life, like what am I walking, what am I becoming? So when we are in the beginning and we are standing like this, right? We are the 10 people, we are the 5 couples. If I'm standing here, I'm thinking, what will I be when we finish this cycle? I will be the head. Right now, I am the left leg. This person, these people will think, what will I be in the next cycle? I'm now the left hand. I will become the right hand. And to have this kind of a picture in your head, and please do this exercise. Draw the pentagram a few times, and if you draw it like this, starting with the left leg, you will be able to have a mnemonic in your head so that when you dance the pentagram, you're not going to be bumping into people, or you wouldn't be wondering where to go when the next cycle starts. Okay? Because when you stand in the beginning, you think of what is your end goal. You kind of, you're thinking forward. Okay? So you can have something like this that you draw a few times and you memorize, and every time we start dancing Paneurhythmy again for the year, I have to kind of cash it into my memory so that I can remember what we are doing. Okay. It's a beautiful thing to have as an aid to remember all of this. Of course, if you are able to commit to the pentagram, you can also buy a silver or a golden pentagram. For me, my father gave it to me as a present. I've been wearing it more than 20 years, and sometimes when I'm tempted to do something stupid, I remember that I'm wearing the pentagram and I save myself from stupidity. At least I try. Of course, sometimes you step into something you don't want to. Okay. So is this clear until now? Should we start to explain the movements? Any questions? Okay, then I will start. So
I guess one thing I need to study a bit is
uh-huh.
the master's concept of justice, because and how that compares to virtue,
Mhm.
or righteousness. Because a lot of times I think of justice, I think of um, like moral justice, doing the right thing by other people. And I guess virtue is more doing the right thing in terms of how you behave in your own personal life, how,
Mhm.
how you live your life, but I guess I always think of justice more on almost on a political basis more. And I
Okay.
don't persecute Black people or
Right.
minorities and things like that. But I don't think the master quite had that same idea. When I read what he says about justice, a lot of it is about giving. And of course, that the essence of all that political thing
Mhm.
should be to be giving of yourself. Um, but
Yeah.
that would be something worth exploring in more depth. Just what is, 'cause my kind of inner sense is like that somehow justice is about how I behave towards others, and virtue is kind of how I behave towards myself. But that's just my inner feeling about it. I don't really know if that exactly describes um, the full depth of his teaching on those topics.
Um, I had some notes and now I can't find them, but I'll try to recreate them from memory. I have too many notes here around me. Okay, but Pravda, which is where this comes from, it really has these different connotations, but I think your intuition about uh, being righteous and justful towards others, because everybody has the same right to freedom, to love. It's like all beings are equal. In one of the lectures, the master says, oh, you guys think this and that about somebody else, but in God's eye, you are the same. You don't give yourself more value or more rights than to somebody else. It's one of those do to others what you want to be done to yourself. So it's like uh, e- is it equanimity or equity in English?
Equity.
Equity, yes. So I think although it's called justice, it's translated, it's not like crime and punishment type of justice. It's more of equity. At least that's how I understand it. So to give all of the rights to others and to allow everyone around you, when you want something, you have to think about others. Maybe they want that same thing too. Um, and I have this example. We were on Rila Mountain and we were very hungry. We got there between lunch and dinner, and I had this big plum that Maria gave me, and I had taken it out of my bag, and then someone asked me, "Are you gonna eat that?" And I was gonna eat it without thinking about others, but then I'm like, oh, no, I should share it. And then I gave it to her. And then she thought the same thing, that others might be hungry also, and gave it to actually Brother Damian. And he divided it, if you can believe it, I think it was like 10 pieces, and gave it to 10 people. So, so I think that is the kind of pravda I'm thinking about. It's like maybe it's a funny and small example, but it's like if you have to come to crime and punishment, then that's too late. It's like start early in that cycle of equity and justice and giving rights to others. Being righteous, it's not about thinking about you always being right. Give the right to be right to others and give them sometimes, and this is what we just talked about, the selflessness part. So I think it has and to me it's really telling that it's the opposite ray of the truth, right? So once you recognize that others have equal rights, then you really have to practice. Again, here it's justice, but I think it's more equity and righteousness. Yeah. But Steve, it's always great to think about these things. Maybe you can give a lecture one time on this. Can I sign you up? And the last thing that you said, that virtue, it's more about the inner, like what I do with myself, and what I develop for myself in maybe in different lives. I agree with that. It's more centered towards me, but again, it has to have a relationship with other people, because say kindness, mercy, those are all virtues that I develop, but they manifest towards others.
Nevenka? Nevenka?
Michaela?
Yes, I wanted to, maybe we didn't stress enough the importance of the circle around the pentagram,
Ah, yes.
because the pentagram has always a circle around.
Right.
So without circle,
This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. This circle in the great circle that in the fulfillment, the will of God is the power of the human soul. Is that what you mean? Or
yes, that the circle represents God, and without circle is not a complete pentagram.
yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Otherwise, it's a star.
Along those lines, I think there are actually three quotes, three that go in a circle around the pentagram, if I'm not mistaken. There's this one, and then there is seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all else shall be added unto you. And then what is the other
Those are
one?
the three formulas.
God loved so much the man that gives his son. The third one is this.
God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that all that believe in him may have eternal life. Or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, we'll come to that. We'll come to that. I I have it in my little booklet. Let's talk a little bit about, or maybe this is the time to talk about that. I don't know if if I have it in my slides. No, I don't. But since you mentioned it, let's talk about that. And I thank you for reminding me. So you may visualize that in this circle, there are two more circles. In the middle one, you may concentrate on the sentence, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life." So this is from John 3:16. And you may write down in an imaginary way the sentence, "But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness." Can you please mute? Can everybody mute? Okay, thank you. "But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness." No. Oh, mute.
Sylvia, please mute yourself.
Yeah, I muted her. Okay. Okay, "But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you." This is from Matthew. In the third, or the most internal circle, the pentagram will become even more powerful when you visualize these three sentences in the process of praying. And also the master said, the pentagram is a fence. It is light. If you are in danger, you may visualize that you hold a pentagram in front of you. Your right hand is touching the ray of righteousness, your left hand the ray of truth, and so and you are directing the apex ahead to the hostile object with the words, "In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, I ask God, the great and mighty one, to do what is good in his eyes." Okay, so thank
Uncle,
you.
will you show us how you put your hands? I've wanted to know for a long, long time.
So
Like
it
put them
says,
here this way, like this?
let me remove the sharing. So it says, it's like holding a pentagram in front of you. Your right hand is touching the ray of righteousness.
Out. Like you become that ray.
Yes, you're like becoming that ray. And the left hand, so this is, you're touching the apex of righteousness. And that's Christ, actually. The apex.
I can feel it.
Yes. And then the left hand is touching the ray of truth. Okay. So then you're directing the apex ahead to the hostile, the ray of truth, and you're directing the apex ahead to the hostile object. But it's like you're directing with wisdom.
Yes, through your eyes.
Through your eyes. Yes, absolutely. See, that's now easy to remember.
Well, I've done it a few times to remain alive, but I didn't know whether I really got what it says or not.
Yes.
Well, it makes me very, very warm because I'm connecting with the divine.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
For that validation.
No,
thank you.
for bringing this up so we can.
Wow, It's very powerful.
So in a way, let's bring one of these other more symbolic pictures. Ta-da, ta-da. Where are they? They always disappear when you need them. Aha, here. So basically, he says, so this is the righteousness, this is the justice, this is where your right hand is, and then the left hand is on the apex of truth, and your eyes, this is wisdom, this is where the apex of wisdom is, the symbol, the eye symbol is. So you're directing this apex ahead to the hostile object with the words, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, I ask God, the great and mighty one, to do what is good in his eyes. Okay, so let's now move to the movements. Okay, I know this lecture will be at least another 15-20 minutes, and I hope it's okay with you, but it's too interesting to break it into two parts. And also 22nd of March we will skip because many groups are starting to dance Paneurhythmy. I'm gonna be traveling, I'll be somewhere else. So I'll see you on the other side of starting Paneurhythmy season.
So when are you starting in Central Park?
23rd. That's a Sunday.
23rd, and you will be there or not?
I will be there. Yes.
You will be there on the 23rd. Okay.
Yes. Are you coming? Say yes.
No, I have no interest in being in New York City or any city.
Okay.
No, but there is a person here by the name of Hyung, who is a eurythmist and studying Rudolf Steiner, and he lives in New York City, and that's why I'm asking.
Oh, I would love to meet him, and I would love to host him at Paneurhythmy, and I can also show the exercises the previous day or have another session. So please give them my coordinates.
Yeah, I think he's still with us. Let's see.
Okay. Hi.
Yes, he's still here.
Yeah, hi. Let's see. Sorry, everybody, but
I thought maybe you met him before I got on.
I saw Hong, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't see a picture, so I saw.
Oh, I didn't see a picture either.
But hi. If you're shy, that's okay. If you're
So
not
what
shy,
time are you going to dance? What time are you going to start on the 23rd?
Okay.
7 o'clock in the morning?
Oh no. God no. 10.
10. Oh, 10. Oh gosh.
Start in 10 because many times the temperature is like 35 degrees Fahrenheit or less than 40. So we
I understand.
allow for the weather to become a little warm, and then we start at 10. Then in June, July, August, then we dance at 9 o'clock.
My down coat is that thick. I will dance on the first day of spring, but down coat that thick.
All right, great. Okay. All right, so we come back to the movements. So the movements of when we are forming and enlivening the pentagram are really movements that we have done before. It's horizontal movements right in front of the chest. If you remember the last time we met, we're working with the heart chakra a lot in this exercise. And we open and we close our arms. When we step forward with the right foot, we open the arms. And there is a beautiful explanation in Svetla's video, as you will see. When we are enlivening the pentagram, now we go into a minor scale, as you see. Truth and justice, wisdom, love, and virtue are the paths divine. So, but in Bulgaria, it's like Nis me slънчеви лъчи на любовта дошли в света. I will walk you through the words, and then these are the notes again when we're folding back into the ray again. So here, Earth is reborn today, new life begins, and so on. So this is when exactly coincides, but what we are singing is actually С благост, светлина, нежна любов. So how are we doing this? We've exchanged these energies, we've enlivened the pentagram, but what's really important that we are doing this with blagost, meaning with kindness. And I've said this before, but blag means sweet, literally means sweet, with sweetness, with light and gentle love. So this is like encoding in your brain of how you are towards others and towards yourself. Нов живот на милостта в света да въдворим. New life of kindness in the world we should establish. So the music repeats 5 times. And then the finishing cycle, it's really what Damian said, Berhan Beru, it's an oath to God that we are going to practice this. Okay, and this is the finishing of the cycle, the words. Eto već idem ni svetlozarni lači. Here we come, beaming bright, royal bearers of light. Okay, so this picture, you can actually print it as your cheat sheet of how we move between the cycles. So in the previous cycle, if you start, where are you gonna end up in the next cycle? From left hand, you end up to as a right hand, left leg becomes the head will become the right leg will become left hand, and then the right arm will become the left leg. So take a moment to have this kind of a picture in your head, and then it's very easy when you sing also to visualize the colors. I think that is the next level. First, learn the movements, but every single layer adds to the power of this exercise. And remember, this is really the apex of the whole of the Paneurhythmy. So there are only 2 pages, so I'll read the words and then I'll play Svetla's video. Svetla's video is about 8 minutes. So, eto već idem ni svetlozarni lači. Carski dar nosim blag, radost, mir i ljubov. Svetlina i živa krasota, svoboda za всичките разумни души. We translated this already, but let me read the corresponding in English. Here we come, beaming bright, royal bearers of light. From the heights we descend, help to earth we would lend. Will you hear our friendly call today? We bring love and freedom. With the truth, clear your way. And Ardella is right. Like in English, you would politely ask, will you hear our friendly call today? And in Bulgarian, it is just said, we are bringing the light and the living beauty and the freedom, you know. So that's a kind of difference in style. And then the second one is Ние сме слънчеви лъчи на любовта, дошли в света, зло да победим, мир да въдворим. Here we have truth and justice, wisdom, love and virtue are the paths divine, As the stars, they shine, as the stars, they shine. So these are 16 steps. And then с благост, светлина, нежна любов, нов живот на милостта в света да въдворим. Earth is reborn today, new life begins, heavenly anthems, angel hymns, to earth this new life begins. And the Bulgarian version is really with blagost, with kindness, light, and gentle love, we establish new life of mercy in the world. And then this repeats, and then the first verse from here repeats. Okay, but in English it's different words. So it's earth is reborn today, new life begins, heavenly anthems, angel hymns, to earth this new life begins. Fling high the banners white, let music ring. Peace and friendship, joy unending, brings the coming spring. And really, whether you sing this version, Bulgarian or English, it should be joy unending. That's the real spirit of the pentagram. I have here the original Bulgarian, the direct translation, and the pentagram, which we went through. I want to give thanks to Damian, who wrote to me today this message. And I know that you guys like his explanation. So this is how he explains it. So the final part of the Paneurhythmy, the pentagram, is like taking of a solid musical oath to the heavens, with our hands up to the heavens, as if we are sending our virtues, and we swear before God to step and walk in the path of perfection as He is perfect. So that's all. I have a lot of links. Please watch the videos, both Svetla's and Ina Dojnova. I think there is a wealth of goodness and happiness in their teaching. And also the Paneurhythmy links and the pentagram links. Actually, this book is on Amazon, and there are multiple video links. So I'll switch now. To I don't know what happened here. It's here, actually. All right. I just want to make sure that original sound for musician is on. That's right. It is on. And I think I'm gonna just read out in English, and then I'll play the audio when they start. Okay, so these are the 12 rays. Sorry, these are actually now the 10 the couples, the 5 couples representing rays of the pentagram. And we have to endure this. Sorry, we skip. Okay, so now is the explanation. In this exercise, there are 5 parts or 10 people. And this is how they stand, these 5 couples. And now the partner who is behind. And this is how we explain. This couple in the middle represents the head. It represents the principle of truth and the head of the cosmic man. Okay. I don't know what I did. Why? I think some of the tools that came here, mouse, no, very close. Okay. So this is the left leg now, raising hand, right leg, raising hand. The left arm is next, will be raising hand, and then the right arm, raising hand. So the principle of wisdom. Now this straight line unfolds into a pentagram. And how do we unfold into a pentagram? We stand first, the hands are horizontal in front of our body, and we step forward with the right foot, and then we step forward with the left foot. We retract our hands. And here, everybody steps 8 steps, but then these two couples will stay in the same place while the arms, the left and the right arm, and the head will continue forward. Another 8 steps. Now, everybody else stays in same place, but the middle couple that represents the head actually goes forward. Okay? So now they are facing forward, but they will start and move to face the center of the pentagram that they just created. Okay? So now, as you will see, again, while dancing, they will all turn towards the center. Each couple is doing something else. I want to pause here because the head is turned with the back towards the center, right? So they're moving 180 degrees while the other couples are moving in smaller angles, okay? So they're creating the pentagram. They're drawing the pentagram in a way. Now, the next thing is where the magic happens. The next thing is where we start to exchange the energies. And the simple way to remember is you skip the one that's to the left of you and you go across. You see what happened? So this person, for example, who is here, will skip this person who is here and will walk across to their own original partner. At the same time, this person will walk across, skip one, walk across, and will join their original partner, and so on. And when everybody does the same, we are enlivening the energies. And we are practicing, we are drawing one of the rays of the pentagram, and we are, if you can remember the colors, try to visualize that very same virtue, the color, and pledge or give oath to practice that virtue. Okay? So then, the other thing is when the partner approaches, then you have to step forward to give them place to stand so that you can lead again. Okay, so see here, this person stepped forward, and then this person stood behind. So they are now in the original formation. So now this person will become the head. Okay, and will turn 180 degrees. Sorry, they will turn 90 degrees. So now, as you will see how the pentagram again becomes a line. So we went from a line, from one of the rays, it became a pentagram, and then it becomes like a straight line again. Okay, now the last figure is how, the fourth figure is how we march forward. With the right foot, we step forward, and we are making semicircles. And before we step, the hands are in the lowest position. And now we make these beautiful, bright movements. We are radiating that light. That's the fourth movement. And this is how this looks like when we start. I think now the music started, so I'm gonna start playing. Give me 1 second. So we'll play from the beginning. And these are the words. Okay, great. Alrighty, so where were we? I need to switch off this one. Okay, so that is a beautiful dancing and beautiful voice singing at the original. I will send a link for singing the English version. when I send the link from this recording. So thank you for joining today. It's really an amazing pleasure to be with you virtually together and to relive the crown of the pentagram, the of the Paneurhythmy, the apex, so to speak. Yes, and I hope wherever you are, I know some of you are just a few people and maybe you will dance the first 10 movements, and some of us is more people, so we can dance the 28 exercises and the sun rays. But I do hope by the end of the season there are many circles that will be able to dance at the pentagram, because that's how we live through that pledge, to that oath. That's how we live up to Berhan Beru, and that's the meaning of the pentagram. And when we apply it in everyday life, and whether we are living through or defending or simply being, when we practice this through the virtues and the aspects in the pentagram, everything becomes much more meaningful in life. So with love and light, I wanted to play something today because two people sent me that video, and I think Sylvie is here. Sylvie, you posted the video, and they sent it to me. So thank you for popularizing that. It's Videlin playing violin. Do you know which video I'm talking about? I'll find it right away and I'll share my screen again, and that's how we will end our session today. Meanwhile, I'd like to hear some comments, if people have comments.
I just wrote down something interesting for me, and maybe I can share it.
Please.
Like the three parts. The first one is the closed circle, and then we come to the to the rays of the sun. Is getting out of the circle and ascend, and then in the pentagram we descend to spread the good. So yeah, it was very interesting to visualize this, how you open the circle, you ascend, but then you come back to spread it. Yeah, because there was in the lyrics also, in the rays of the sun, Navisinin, so we ascend. There, the beings are calling us, and we ascend. Maybe you can open it. But then in the pentagram, we descend to bring what we got there when we ascended. So yeah, that's something I realized now.
Awesome. Thank you, Marina. I'm beaming with joy when I hear these insights. Yes, thank you. Any comments? Any other comments? Sylvie, Rumi, Valentina. Okay, if not, I'll share my screen. But wait, there are comments. There are other comments. Sorry. 1 second. Maybe I'll share my screen and then show the comments. But now I cannot see the comments. Technology. Well, if somebody wants to read the comments, let me know. Meanwhile, see, I get congratulations on 8th of March, which is beautiful. But this is the video that I wanted to share.
I recorded it and I posted. It was me.
Yeah, yeah. This is Sylvie, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Also,
And it's
Sylvie.
not just that.
Huh?
I did post much more, many videos.
Yes. Okay, you have Benza Duno thought
Yes.
for the day
Ah, yes.
channel.
I did open long time ago, and for when I was learning to dance Paneurhythmy. Then what I did is I spent a few years trying to translate the original of Paneurhythmy in English. And because I'm a professor of mathematics and I'm not good at English and I'm not good at speaking, so I did a few times, and finally, with the help of chat, I made it. So it's free. I upload it on this site, Pensado Now. So if you would like to know the translation of the original Paneurhythmy from 1938, one to one, as much as possible as to allow the
Literal
grammar, you
translation.
can just go and download it. It's free. My name is not written. I'm always anonymous, like the
Okay.
video I did.
Okay. Can I ask you to send me an email with this so I don't forget with the link?
Email of
With the link so I can share it with
to
the
the
group.
group, sure.
Yes, yes, that's
I also have something very similar. I don't know about 1938 or not 1938, but I worked with Tony and Todor on a translation of the Bulgarian, at least the Bulgarian that we typically use now, and also it includes Vesela Nesterova's lyrics as well. So I'll share that with you as well,
please,
Nevenka.
please. I would love to
One more, well,
include
just one more comment. I do know Vesela Nestorova in the other translations. What I did is one to one.
one-to-one. Yeah. Okay.
1938 original Paneurhythmy, which is approved by the teacher, Ben Sadunau.
Ah,
Great.
That's what was
I would
my
love
my
to
goal,
meet you.
especially what exercises expressed. That's the first thing to
Okay.
consider. One to one for me.
Did the Bulgarian change after 1938? Is what's sung now Bulgarian different than what was sung in
No,
1938?
no, Bulgarian is not different, but the translations are not. I did it because I spent a few years because nobody translated the original of 1938 Paneurhythmy. And you can see, if you open the file, you can see on the left side is Bulgarian. On the right side is English, one to one. No more, no measures, no this, no that. It's one to one and can be compared.
I'm definitely interested because
It's the first.
I didn't
It's the
know that this exists. So when I started teaching Paneurhythmy online, I was doing this from scratch and on the fly. And then people asked me to write it down. So I wrote it down. So in the 10 sessions, I have always, and I tried like you, to have the one-to-one, but still slightly so that you can understand the meaning. Sometimes the words are interchanged, just like in Spanish, right? The adjective comes after the noun. So there are similar things between Bulgarian and English, and I'm very interested in languages. I'm also a mathematician by training, by the way. I don't know what is this with the mathematics people, but there are a lot of mathematics people in Paneurhythmy. Later, I became a computer scientist and so on. But I feel connected with you, although you didn't know me for a long time. But I've heard about you, Sylvia, and I'm very, very glad you're here. So I'll take yours. I'll take what I did independently and I'll put them side by side, and maybe you and I'll take the version from Steve. I'm very interested in creating a single version. People always have preferences, but my mother was a linguist, a Slavic linguist, and she studied all the Slavic languages. So I spent my entire childhood pondering on the differences in expression in different Slavic languages. So to me, finding the roots of these words and the original prime meaning
Yes,
is like
yes,
a
yeah,
great joy, but at the same time, it's our duty to give it to the next generation.
yes,
Yeah. Okay. But thank you so
exactly.
much for bringing this, and thank you in advance for sending it. I'll share it with the group as it is. Yeah.
Sure. I have one request, please. I was in and out. Could I have the recording of yours today?
Yes, I will share. I think you are on the mailing list, but I'll make sure that you are on the mailing list because
No, I didn't receive. I asked Kina.
yes,
I was,
I'm one
I
of
was
the
in and out.
four mailing lists, and I need to remember who's where.
I was in and out because I was talking with Joanna Strateva
Uh-huh.
at the moment of the meeting, and her what could I say for today? Greetings
Okay, thank you, thank you.
to you. I sent her a short video of your presentation.
Oh my God.
That's why I miss
Oh my God.
from time to time.
Yeah, we are very connected. I mean, I use Joanna's recording when we dance Paneurhythmy because I consider it one of the most accurate rhythmically that corresponds to the way we dance. That's why I like it, because also because her son plays guitar. He's like the Bruce Lee of the guitar. He's like impeccable, and you need to hear that rhythm in order to dance correctly, precisely to the beat, as Ardella says.
Exactly.
So thank you.
Oh.
I owe her to call her and everything. Yeah.
I thank you because the previous time I will remember when you said one towards the center,
Mm-hmm.
the left the left arm,
Mm-hmm.
and all together, and the other one. Your interpretation
Yeah.
uh, uh, is just a blessing for me to know. And thank you so much for sharing that. I need the recording from today.
Okay, please. Yes, I will send you the recording. I also want to say that when we do the fourth cycle, the fourth, when we talk about etovech idem ni, when we do these movements at the end, sometimes I just imagine that I have wings. And you have to give yourself such freedoms. Some people, if they hear me, who know me professionally, they'll think like she has turned cuckoo. But
No, you said, Miss, you said something that was new for you. You emitting.
when
Yes,
we do these
yes,
semicircles at the end,
emit.
which either
Yes,
me Svetlozarni Lachi, I imagine like it, because you are moving, and when you do this in slow motion and strobe lights, you will see you see your all that movement, but it's like you're drawing something. Sometimes I feel like I have these wings, and it's like I'm gonna fly, and it's like flying through. It's not even walking or dancing. Like to have deep inner connection with the paneurhythmy, so that you can allow yourself to experience these things. but also when we're doing these semicircular movements, you're sending this radiant light. You are the bearer of light. You are royal bearer of light, as Vesela said it in English. We are all of that. So it's very, very important that we remember and we can visualize and experience the same thing. So that's what I wanted to add. Okay. Yeah, and another thing, Sylvie, with you is that I created a Facebook group which is called Daily Reflections. It also means Saduno, but it will be only in English, and it will be only the daily thoughts. You know, from that book, there is a site, I think there is someone who has a Facebook page and it's in Bulgarian. I created one that will be only in English for the world, and we can add it in Spanish and other languages.
Nevenka, I started it this way, and that's why I call it a thoughtful day, long time ago. But after that, I'm not good at English, but after that, I was only in English a thoughtful day. But there was a little to nothing people at that time, and I opened it and started also in Bulgarian, and I opened to everybody that they want to, and it's just different now. For 1 year, if you scroll down, you can see me only a thoughtful day, and I used the at that time the translation from the books in English from the lectures we have. Just pick up one. That was my first idea.
Okay, okay. I
No,
think
but I'll be
having an
glad.
international one like that where we post in English, I look through, and sometimes that's how I get informed through your posts on Facebook. I think they're amazing. And then Bulgarian prevails, which is great, But I want to have one which is accessible to everybody in the world. I think over time, my grandfather learned Esperanto exactly for that purpose, to have communication with people around the world. Now AI will be Esperanto. Why? Because on Facebook or whichever network, whichever channel I'm on, I will be seeing everything in my own language. If I am speaking Azerbaijani language, if I'm speaking Portuguese, Spanish, Polish, Bulgarian, I'm going to see it in my language. So until that time, this is only a few years, I think, when we have perfect translations. So great. Please keep up the great work. I really get inspired by you. Thank you so much for joining today. Thank you. And your English is great. Please.
No, I told you students, but
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 25 years.
Okay. Great. So I'll
I also would
share.
like to ask to say thank you to Sylvia, because I also a follower of her her Facebook page. So thank you very much, Sylvia, for your work. Your videos are very nice. Thank you, Sylvia.
Yes.
From Italy.
From Italy. With love. Con amore. We can't hear you, Jan.
Nevenka,
Yes.
I'm so happy today because it is a very nice time for a lot of women in the world. This a special time in the world. I think this very nice lecture from Master Peter Dunov, and I wish you all the best health and happiness. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rumi. Thank you. You're always amazing. You're amazing blessings.
Thank you, thank you.
For joining. Now I will play the video from Ivan Jejev. That was super amazing, wasn't it? Unbelievable. Artistry and music. So, so thank you. And I hope you have a beautiful start of Paneurhythmy season. I can't wait to start, and I hope to see you maybe on Rila Mountain, maybe over here. Okay.
Are you coming to Rila Mountain?
I want to, and yesterday actually I was talking to someone, but I'll switch off the recording and then we can chat. So official thank you, and I love you, and happy Paneurhythmy season, but I'll just stop the recording. Stop.